Otherwise, growing up in the United States, being in a family of immigrants?
When we were growing up, there was, at the time, a neo-Nazi resurgence going through Orange County, very conservative. And I remember very clearly there were very sharp instances of our house getting egged or, hanging up Christmas or Halloween decorations, and they'd be like, tear them down or break them and things like that. That was one side of growing up in America as a family of immigrants. The other was not realizing that you're the minority until a certain age.
Did you face any challenge in terms of discrimination? Some things that, many kind of Vietnamese Americans that at least I've met have shared with me.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the first instance of this was in first grade. There was no kind of language aptitude test. They just kind of rounded up everyone who looked probably that they didn't speak English, and they put us all into ESL, and there was no aptitude test to get out. There are other major instances. So, like, for example, we, as my friends and I experienced, were victims of, I would say, police discrimination. We're studying in a bookstore called Barnes & Noble's, and we remember two Caucasian police officers coming up to us and asking us for our ID. So this is a very interesting instance because we're on the second floor. The door is on the first floor, so they had to come up and target us specifically, and they assumed that we didn't speak English because when we asked questions back, they kind of shouted at us in terms of, do you speak English, things like that, and they threatened to arrest us, essentially, and they threw us out of the bookstore, even though we were just studying.
And you were in high school, basically.
Yes, we were in high school, and I think this was one of the turning points in my life in terms of how I viewed my relationship to what we call American dominant culture, and it made the drive to learn about what it means to be Vietnamese even stronger, because my understanding is if we don't understand who we are, it's really difficult for us to figure out how we're going to relate.